Hi friends, Mr. Cyrus here. I thought that I'd come on and say hello. I've been thinking a lot about some things that we could do while we're not in our classroom together. And one of the things that I'd like to continue with is our chapter book read aloud. Now, when I last saw you, we had just finished reading Gooseberry Park. So I went through my books and I found a new chapter book that I'd like to share with you. And this is Socks by Beverly Cleary. And it's a story about a little kitten named Socks. Now, I know that it's going to be a little different and strange with us not all being together while we're sharing this story. So something that I would like for you to do while you're watching the video and listening to the story is to get out your crayons and some paper and be drawing what you're visualizing and seeing in your mind while I'm reading to you. When you finish your drawings, you can have an adult at home take a picture of what you've drawn, and they can email it to me because I would love to see what you're coming up with and even perhaps share some of your drawings in future videos. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with Socks. And chapter 1 is titled The Kitten Sale. The tabby kitten hooked his paws over the edge of the box marked Kittens, 25 cents or best offer. The girl with the stringy hair and the sunburned arms picked him up and set him down in the midst of his wiggling, crawling, and meowing brothers and sisters. He wanted to get out. She wanted him to stay in. The puzzling struggle had gone on all morning in the space between the mailbox and the newspaper rack near the door of the supermarket. "Nice fresh kittens for sale," called out the girl whose name was Debbie. She usually held the kittens in her arms, and they expected her to hold them now. "Stupid," said her brother George, embarrassed to be selling kittens with his younger sister in front of the supermarket on a summer morning. "Whoever heard of fresh kittens?" "Me," said Debbie, as she pushed the kitten down once more into the box. Then she repeated at the top of her voice, "Nice fresh kittens for sale." She knew she was not stupid, and she enjoyed annoying her brother. The two had quarreled at breakfast. George said Debbie should sell the kittens because she played with them and that made them hers. Debbie said George should sell the kittens because she didn't know how to make change. Besides, he was the one who had brought the mother home when she was a kitten, so that made the kittens his. Their father said, "Stop bickering, you two. You can both sell them." And that was that. The white-pawed kitten, unaware of the hard feelings between brother and sister, tried again. He stepped on another kitten and this time managed to lift his chin over the rim of the carton. His surprised blue eyes took in the parking lot full of shoppers pushing grocery carts among cars glittering in the summer heat. He was fascinated and frightened. "Now, Socks," said Debbie as she unhooked his claws from the cardboard, "be a good kitten." Socks's orange and white sister caught his tail and bit it. Socks rolled over on his back and swiped at her with his one white paw. He no longer felt playful toward a littermate who had bit his tail. Now that he was 7 weeks old, he wanted to escape from all the rolling, pouncing, and nipping that went on inside that box. Unfortunately, no shopper was willing to buy Socks his freedom. Several passed to smile at the sign, and then Socks found himself shoved to the bottom of the heap again by Debbie. "What are we going to do?" she asked, as she plucked Socks from the edge of the carton once more. "Nobody wants them." "Mark them down, I guess. Dad said to give them away if we had to." The boy borrowed a felt-tipped pen from the checker in the supermarket, while Socks peeked over the edge of the carton, and he crossed out the 25 cents on the sign and wrote 20 cents above it. "Kittens for sale!" Debbie's voice sounded encouraging as she hid Socks under two of his littermates. She promptly wiggled out. On a day like this, his own fur was warm enough. "Why do you keep hiding Socks?" George tried to look as if he'd just happened to be standing there near the mailbox and had nothing to do with the kittens. "Because he's the best kitten, "And I want to keep him," said Debbie. "Dad won't let you," her brother reminded her. "He says the house is getting to smell like cats." Socks found himself plucked from the litter and cradled in the girl's arms. "Well, at least we can find a good home for him." Debbie was admitting the truth of her brother's statement. "I don't want just anybody to take Socks." "You don't see a line of people forming to buy kittens, do you?" asked George. To pass the time, he had read the headlines of the newspapers on the rack and the label on the mailbox, and was starting in on the signs posted in the windows of the market. Socks tried to climb Debbie's t-shirt, but she held him back while she watched the other faces of shoppers for signs of interest. Once, a man approached, but he only wanted to drop a letter in the mailbox. A woman passed along to look at each of the kittens and then said, "No, I can't bear to think of anything as warm as a furry kitten on such a hot day." Children entering the market with their parents begged to be allowed to buy a kitten. "Just one, please, please," with their very own money, but no one actually bought a kitten. "I guess it just isn't kitten weather," said Debbie. Socks struggled to free himself from the heat of the girl's sweaty arms. "Be good, Socks," said Debbie. "We're trying to find you a nice home." Fat chance. George had finished reading the signs in the window and was even more bored. Special prices on ground beef and soap and announcements of cake sales did not interest him. A woman with her hair in rollers, wearing a muumuu and rubber thong sandals, herded 3 children and a dog across the parking lot. The tallest, a girl barely old enough to read, shrieked, "Mommy, look! A kitten sale!" "I want one! I want one!" shouted her younger brother and sister. Debbie and George exchanged a look. The dog, sensing a long argument, lay down in front of the market door where customers had to step over him. Panting used up all his energy, and he had none left with which to investigate kittens. "I want that one with white feet," said the boy who was wearing new swimming trunks. "I saw him first," the younger girl shoved her brother. "Cut it out, you two," ordered the mother. "Not Socks, please, not Socks." There was desperation in Debbie's voice. Socks could feel thumping beneath her t-shirt as she held him closer. "They're the kind that will squeeze him and forget to give him water. I can just tell." George did not answer, but he frowned as the 3 children approached. He had good reason to quarrel with his sister, but that did not mean he approved of quarreling. The oldest of the 3 joined the squabble. "I get him because I'm the oldest. You two can have Bad Dog." The dog, hearing his name, lifted his head, decided nothing of importance was happening, and dropped it down again. The younger girl, who was wearing her sister's outgrown shorts and blouse, objected. "Just because you're older, you always think you can have everything." "No fair," shouted the boy. "Bad Dog belongs to all of us." Debbie unhooked the kitten's claws from her t-shirt and tried to hide him behind her back. Socks struggled. Until this morning, Debbie always had been careful to support his feet when she held him, and she never had squeezed him before. "I want that one with the white feet that the girl's hiding," said the older girl. Me too," the boy, jumping up and down, and clutched onto his swimming trunks, which his mother had bought for him to grow into. "I know," the younger sister had found a solution. "Mommy can buy each of us a kitten." "That's what you think," said the weary mother. "One is plenty. We'll take the one with white feet." I'm going to stop there for today. So I want you to think about how Debbie might be feeling now that there's a family who wants the kitten Socks with the white feet, because it seems like that might be Debbie's favorite. So, like I said before, if you've done a drawing while you've been listening to the story, I would love to see your drawing. Have an adult at home, just email it to me, and I look forward to seeing all those. I hope you're well. I'm excited to keep sharing this book with you, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.